Thunderstorm warning is in effect until 4:45 in the afternoon. So we have another about 5 minutes of this, and the strongest part of the thunderstorm is right near Charlotte, getting close to Eaton Rapids at this time. And what we have been seeing, at least looking at radar, is that this has the potential of bringing some very strong gusty winds with it and a tremendous amount of heavy rain as this thunderstorm is making its way off to the east at about 45 miles per hour at this time. But we are watching to see if we do get another warning that's a little bit further off to the east to see if Ingham County might be included in that. We have not seen that issue just yet, but I do want to kind of give you an estimated time of when the strongest part of this thunderstorm will be arriving into parts of mid-Michigan. So Dimondale, right about now, seeing the thunderstorm begin. Eaton Rapids, you still have another 3 minutes at about 4:44, and then it'll cross over into Ingham County. So that's when we're going to see it impact places like Holt at 4:50, eventually getting into the Mason area at 4:56, and then Leslie is at 5:02. So you kind of get the trend here. If you are to the east of this area, that's where we're going to see the strong thunderstorm move on into mid-Michigan. And the severe thunderstorm warning was issued a little while ago for the potential of seeing these strong gusty winds across this part of mid-Michigan. We have not seen any damage reports at this time, but we do have this very intense thunderstorm that's beginning to make its way into Ingham County, so getting close to Onondaga, right along US 127 here, probably within the next couple of minutes here, as we've been seeing these very strong thunderstorms make their way through mid-Michigan. I'm going to adjust the radar here 1 second and show you that we have more thunderstorms that are kind of popping up here as well. So it's really just this line, this warning that's in effect at this time, but we do have other thunderstorms that have developed within the last couple of minutes. So you can see that the line extends roughly from the Lansing area all the way back down towards Kalamazoo, and these will be intensifying as they do so. So as they move into Calhoun County and eventually get into Jackson County, we'll likely start seeing some of these showers and thunderstorms move on in. And we also do have Andy Provenzano, who is here working the radar. So if we can switch on over to Max 1. Andy, what are you seeing with this thunderstorm?
Well, it looks to be just heavy rain, Colton, creating very strong gusts. So inside these storms, we're seeing winds as much as 55 miles an hour, and the rains can bring those down. The tops on these thunderstorms are about 44,000 feet up, and it's bringing out all that humidity, so the rain comes rushing down. That creates gusty winds in itself, and some of those rains now have expanded towards Mason. Right on the edge, that pink shade is the end of the severe thunderstorm watch area that goes all the way back towards Chicago. So it's really a lot of heavy rain and now some gusty winds. When I put the lightning on, you can see there's no lightning in Ingham County. It's all back there in Eaton County, where there may have been some hail. This is really just a huge rain event, so you can get what we call microbursts, where you can get those bursts of winds to come down, and they could reach up to 60 miles an hour. So that's why this warning was issued, which is going to expire in just a few more minutes. But if you're anywhere in Eaton County, you're probably seeing some pretty hefty rains, and of course we're in rush hour here soon, so driving down I-69 will be probably in standing water. Some areas showing that maybe we could see some hail transition on this, but for the most part it's just heavy rain. A lot of lightning, that's pretty frequent as well, and just some breakout showers and storms up in the Lansing area, but not that severe complex, which goes way off to the southwest. You can follow it all the way down into northern Indiana and towards Chicago. So that's where probably the strongest storms will be the rest of the evening, the southwest corner of the state up into parts of the Lansing area and eventually down towards Jackson. But yeah, Colton, we're getting just really heavy rains out of all of this, and when we break down and dissect this whole line, we're not seeing any kind of circulation of winds. We're not seeing any kind of hail. This just looks to be just what we used to call gully washers. That's a lot of rain coming down at a pretty fast rate, and that creates some strong winds in itself. And whenever winds approach 58 miles an hour, that prompts the warnings to go out, and that's why there's a warning for Eaton County. The part of Berry County has just now been dropped out since it's gone past its expiration date as well.
Yeah, Andy, and we're waiting to see what the National Weather Service does. It looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. If we can switch back over to Max 2, and I'll show you the latest. This now does include Ingham County. This is until 5:45. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. Now, this does not technically include the Lansing area. It's just to the south once you get closer to Holt, and then points to the south and southern parts of Ingham County, where we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service Service until 5:45. Now, this does also include Eaton County, so they kind of replaced what was left of the warning. So from Charlotte, stretching back into the Mason area and points off to the east is where we do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. Now, the National Weather Service once again is issuing these warnings because of the potential at seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with some of these thunderstorms as they continue to make their way in from the west to the east. And like Andy was mentioning, these storms have a tremendous amount of heavy rain as well. So that's why we need to be on the lookout, especially as that evening commute. US 127 will likely be a slow go if you are going to be leaving the Lansing area and moving down towards Jackson, because we're going to see a tremendous amount of heavy rainfall, as well as the potential of seeing some damaging wind gusts. And there is also a chance that there could be some small hail with this as well as these showers and thunderstorms continue to make their way through mid-Michigan. So I will draw a new estimated arrival time.
They're not moving as fast anymore either. Now 35 miles an hour off to the east instead of 45.
That's good to know. So let me adjust this.
There's potential for more significant rainfall than certainly on the roads and standing water from curb to curb as it goes into some of the bigger cities. But this is a pretty solid line. We're on the edge of it in Lansing. It goes all the way back down to the southwest. We can zoom in on this a little bit more, and you see that there's a time frame then, Colton, of how this is now moving a little slower.
Yeah, it is moving slower. And again, that does mean that especially those roadways, 127 specifically, could have some water out on the roadways, because this is producing a tremendous amount of heavy rain, mainly because it's so humid outside. There's a ton of moisture in the air with these thunderstorms. So here's some new estimated arrival times for you. Eaton Rapids getting right around 4:46. Mason at around 4:59 is when that's likely going to move in, at least part of the strongest parts. Tompkins getting close to 5:10, and even into eastern parts of Ingham County, when you get close to M52, Stockbridge will eventually see this thunderstorm right around 5:29. Now, it looks like the worst of this may stay just to the north of Jackson, but again, a lot of people travel south on 127 during this time as the evening commute is getting underway. So there's going to be a tremendous amount of heavy rain. You may want to put off your travel plans just a little bit if you can, because we do have this very strong thunderstorm that is now currently severe thunderstorm warned by the National Weather Service. And again, kind of recapping here is that we do have the severe thunderstorm warning now for both Eaton and Ingham counties until 5:45 is when this warning will be in effect. And this is currently the only warnings that we have across mid-Michigan at this time, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. So we can't let our guard down even after this thunderstorm moves on through, because we likely will see some more storms, especially further to the south, Jackson County, maybe possibly Hillsdale at times later on this evening as we continue to see this thunderstorm. Andy, is there anything that you wanted to add real quick?
Just the heaviest rains are right along M50 from Charlotte to Eaton Rapids. That's where the strongest weather is right now, as far as significant rainfall, which would also translate into some pretty gusty winds, enough to bring some branches down and things like that. So that's why the warning has been extended through parts of Eaton County and on off to the east as well into Ingham County. So that's just indicating some pretty hefty rain, but we also know inside the storms are some gustier winds. They just need to be brought to the surface, and rain can do that, especially when it's that significant. And you're also going to get a lot of lightning too, so I would imagine that may hit a power pole or two. So it could be some power outages with some of these kind of storms.
Yeah, and if we can just switch back over to Max 2 real quick with the Farm Bureau Insurance Cam, you can start seeing some rain is coming down in Delta Township as these thunderstorms are making their way through mid-Michigan. So what we will do is continue to monitor these storms over the next few minutes. We will have another update coming up with our newscast beginning at 5 o'clock with the latest breakdown of these severe thunderstorms as they make their way through mid-Michigan. So at this time, we are going to send it right back to regularly scheduled programming.
This has been a News 10 First Alert Weather Special